For over 4 years, we've been staring at the same 60 Hz panel, waiting for Apple to finally bring the studio display into the modern era, and today, the wait is officially over. The leaks have turned into a flood of concrete data, and if you've been holding off on a monitor upgrade, your patience is about to be rewarded with something that isn't just a spec bump. It's a total reimagining of what a 27-inch Apple display can be. We are talking about the Apple Studio Display 2, a device that internal code and supply chain whispers have confirmed is moving from a standard LCD to a breathtaking mini-LED architecture. This shift changes everything because for the first time in the Studio line, we're getting true XDR performance on a smaller, more desk-friendly scale. Imagine a peak brightness that doesn't just sit at 600 nits, but rockets up to 1,600 or even 2,000 nits for HDR content. This means the deep blacks are actually black, the highlights are searing, and the contrast ratio is jumping from a modest 1:200 to 1 to a staggering 1,000,000 to 1. But the screen tech is only the beginning of why this monitor is going to dominate the creative market for the next half-decade. The real headline for anyone who values fluidity and precision is the long-awaited arrival of promotion technology. According to the latest internal builds of Apple's operating systems, the Studio Display 2, internally codenamed J527, is confirmed to support a 120 Hz variable refresh rate. If you've ever used a MacBook Pro or an iPad Pro and then switched back to a standard 60 Hz monitor, you know exactly how jarring and sluggish it feels. With 120 Hz promotion, every scroll, every cursor movement, and every timeline scrub in Final Cut or Premiere becomes buttery smooth. This isn't just about making things look pretty, it's about reducing eye strain and providing a level of responsiveness that professional editors and designers have been demanding since the first generation launched in 2022. The implementation is rumored to be adaptive, meaning the display will intelligently ramp down to lower refresh rates when you're looking at static images to save power, then instantly kick into high gear the moment you start moving. It is the single biggest quality of life upgrade Apple could have made, and seeing it finally confirmed in regulatory filings is the win we all needed. But why does a monitor need a high-end smartphone chip inside it? That's where the A19 chip comes in. While the original model used the aging A13, the leap to the A19, the same silicon powering the latest iPhone 17 series, is a massive statement of intent. This chip isn't there to run apps. It's there to handle the sheer computational load of a high-end mini-LED panel and an upgraded camera system. The A19 will manage over 2,000 local dimming zones in real time, ensuring that there is zero blooming or light bleed around bright objects on dark backgrounds. Furthermore, this silicon powerhouse is going to revolutionize the built-in webcam. We all remember the criticism the original Studio Display faced for its soft image quality at launch. With the A19's advanced image signal processor, the new 12-megapixel center stage camera will feature drastically improved low-light performance, better skin tone reproduction, and hardware-accelerated noise reduction. It effectively turns your monitor into a professional-grade video conferencing hub without needing a single external accessory. Connectivity is another area where Apple is finally catching up to its own high-end hardware. With the release of the M5 Series Max, Apple is pushing Thunderbolt 5 as the new standard, and the Studio Display 2 is set to be the flagship peripheral for this transition. Thunderbolt 5 doubles the bandwidth of its predecessor, allowing for much faster data transfer and, more importantly, the ability to drive multiple high-resolution displays or high-speed storage arrays through a single cable without any bottlenecks. For laptop users, this is a game-changer because the power delivery is expected to jump from 96 watts to a massive 140 watts. This means you can fast-charge even a most power-hungry 16-inch MacBook Pro while it's running a heavy render, all through the same cable that's sending 5K video and 120 Hz data to the screen. It simplifies the professional workspace into a clean, single-cable solution that finally lives up to the Studio name. Now, let's talk about the design and the XDR factor. The RU. More suggest Apple might actually split the lineup into two distinct tiers. a standard studio display 2, and a high-end studio display XDR. The XDR model would be the one sporting the full mini LED array and the insane 2000 nit peak brightness, effectively acting as a mini version of the $5,000 Pro Display XDR. This would allow Apple to keep a more affordable option for those who don't need reference-grade HDR but still want the 120Hz promotion and the updated A19 features. The chassis itself is expected to remain largely the same, a masterpiece of minimalist aluminum, but with potentially slimmer bezels and a new nano-texture glass option that is even more durable and effective at cutting glare than the current version. The speakers are also getting a significant internal redesign. We already have the best-in-class audio system for a monitor, but the A19 chip will enable even more precise spatial audio processing, making the soundstage feel wider and more immersive for those who prefer working without headphones. When you look at the total package, the 120Hz promotion, the mini LED brightness, the A19 intelligence, and the Thunderbolt 5 speed, it becomes clear that Apple isn't just updating a monitor. They're building the ultimate anchor for the modern creative ecosystem. Whether you're a photographer who needs pixel-perfect color accuracy, a video editor who needs smooth playback and deep contrast, or a developer who just wants the sharpest text and the most responsive UI possible, this display is designed to be the end of the conversation. The pricing is expected to stay competitive with the current high-end market, likely starting around $1,599 for the standard refresh and climbing for the XDR mini LED variant. This is the hardware that will define professional desks for the next 5 years, and based on everything we know so far, it is going to be worth every single penny. The era of compromising on refresh rates and contrast is over. The future of the Mac desktop experience is brighter, faster, and more powerful than we ever imagined. As we approach the official launch window, the excitement is reaching a fever pitch because this represents a shift in Apple's philosophy. For years, they kept the best display technology reserved for the most expensive, out-of-reach products. By bringing mini LED in promotion to the 27-inch form factor, they're acknowledging that the prosumer and the independent creator are the heart of their user base. This monitor isn't just a screen. It's a tool that removes the friction between your ideas and your output. From the way the A19 chip will handle Hey Siri requests to the seamless way it integrates with the upcoming M5 Max Studio, every detail has been refined to be invisible and efficient. If you've been waiting for a reason to finally retire your old 4K monitor or your aging iMac, this is it. The Apple Studio Display 2 is the upgrade we've been dreaming of, and it's finally ready to take center stage.